Okay, this is for Trademan, Deviant Art. Um, wanted to see how I draw zombie tramp. Um, Instead of just taking a bunch of stills and having to stop like through my process of drawing and keep having to stop and take a picture or scan it throughout, I just said, hey, why don't I'll make you a video, and then you can see how I draw zombie tramp. And of course, he wants zombie tramp nude, so I'm not gonna object to that. So let's start. Um, I've been drawing for so long, like the same designs over and over, that it's just these little guidelines and stuff that I make. They really don't mean too much. I always divide where the eyes are gonna go. A lot of people, when you learn to draw, they always tell you, they always have you do that circle, and then make the line here, then the line down the middle on both sides. I don't do that because I draw big eyes, so I make two lines. So I divide it three ways: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And of course, I always do a 3/4. This is the easiest pose I do. Everything's 3/4 head turn, facing this way. My publisher laughs at me; he thinks it's funny. But yeah, if you look at a lot of my stuff, it's always facing that way, and it's because I'm a lazy artist. What can I say? So here's what I go. Basically, just do a bunch of circles. I just kind of lightly mark in where the nose is going, the eyes. This top line, see, it doesn't mean nothing. It should have went right there if I was gonna making that for any reason. But this is where I'm gonna put the eyebrow, I guess. So. After I mark in where the nose is going, then I'll make in like the nose actual shape, a little bit of a nostril and stuff. Very lightly go from the tip of the nose, like a little swoop, to where I'm gonna put in the lips. And right now I just kind of roughen the lips. Let's go in with the eyebrows. Always make it a little bit thick right there, then go to thin. There, I always put in a little bit of a tear duct, so it just doesn't look like a stupid circle. Give it a little bit of something, a little bit of variation. I have no placement for ears. Like I said, I just been drawing this same stuff for so long that I don't have guidelines really. I just know that I'm gonna put the ear about right here. So I just kind of rough in an ear, even though when I do hairdos and things like that, if the hair is gonna cover the ear, I still draw the ear because it helps me line in where I'm gonna put the hair. Because now I go in straight to a sideburn, do a scalp line, come in like that. Now I have my hair marked off exactly where I want it to go. For the lips, I've been teased a lot, like about always drawing these big ass donut lips. My lips have gotten a lot smaller than I used to draw them. So I think I got it to about where I want it now. They used to be gigantic freaking lips. I thought it was cool back then, and then when I look at those drawings now, it just looks retarded. I always do like that slight open mouth, and all it is you make a line and then make a little opening at the bottom, so it's like the lowercase d, I guess. Yeah, lowercase d right there. When I lay in the body, it's just, again, I've done it so many times, I'm just busting it out now, and there's no reason for any of it. I can't explain everything that I do. It's just, at this point, what feels right and what looks right when I draw. Zombie Tramp seems to have 3 points now when I do her bangs. She always has that one long one, but it's always the one short and then the two at the peak. And it always comes at about the peak of a little bit off to the corner of her, the end of her forehead. then just like I said, it's gonna cover her ear, but I still drew the ear anyways. And now this whole new thing, Zombie Tramp started. As I drew her more, I started getting more comfortable with her, and I started things just start to develop. When you're doing character design, a lot of times you think you got it, and then you start drawing them, and then as you draw them more and more and more, they start taking a shape of their own, and the designs actually get better. You start because you get more comfortable, and you start seeing things appear often more and more and more, and you're like, okay, that's her trademark. She has to have that. So now Zombie Tramp has to have this little curl right here. It just started happening. I don't know why, but it just looks cool. And then also originally she just had that huge gash in her cheek right here. If you look in the book, the first couple ones or whatever, it was just like some weird kind of triangle. But as she's developed now, it's a heart. So Zombie Tramp's been through a lot. Horrible life she's had. So, some people wear their heart on their sleeves. She wears it on her cheek. Also, I'm really big on collarbones. Another thing people made fun of me about, my protruding collarbones. I like them. Of course, that's not how a human looks. Who cares? I just like it because it frames where the shoulders end and the chest begins. So that's what I do there. I don't shade a lot when I do pencil, but for some reason I always have to put those lines right underneath the neck of where it's shadowed in and stuff. And then her tits, whatever, her boobs or her breasts, whatever you fucking want to call them. The way I lay it in is I've been studying boobs since I hit puberty, so the more you draw them, the more you stare at them like a weirdo, you get better at it. In high school, I would say when I drew boobs, it looked, I thought it was cool. It looked like crap. It looked like hard footballs. And as I started drawing more and more, and I started taking lots of life drawing. Went to college. They made me do lots and lots and lots of life drawing. You start to see how gravity hits boobs and stuff or whatever, and I start, of course they still look ridiculously big, or people say or whatever. I think they look fine. It's a cartoon, like, what I mean, but still I liked her to have some weight to it. And I always just loosely put in where I'm gonna put her nipples. Even if I'm gonna put clothes on her, I still kind of always loosely put where the nipples are gonna go, because she really doesn't wear too much to begin with, so I have to make sure if I'm gonna cover her up that I'm putting the wardrobe in right so it can cover her nipples. I used to draw waists way thinner, and I'm thickening them up lately. I don't know why, just evolution, I guess. The more you draw, if you look at your old stuff, if you are learning anything at all, even if you don't know you're learning things, I say that if you can save your drawings and look at them every month, if you've been drawing a lot, you'll start to see a difference. Even today, like, if I look at Zombie Tramp when I first started drawing her, I don't want to look at it. It looks like crap. She looks way better now. I think she looks a little cuter. I say a lot, whatever. So that's that. So I lay in the hips. When I come in the rib cage, I used to just go like straight like down and then out to the hips, but I don't do that no more. I'm actually using a little bit more anatomy sense, where I'm actually putting in a hint of where the boobs are laying on her rib cage and all that. I always put these lines. I don't know why. Belly button always around always lower than where the hips going in, hip out. My hips I draw kind of big, I guess, but women are supposed to be curvy. One of my favorite artists growing up is Shiro Masamune, the guy who created Ghost in the Shell and all that. I learned a lot, how he draws boobs and all that stuff. From him, I liked his stuff a lot, but the thing about him is that he never drew hips, and it bothered me. So, just because you like an artist doesn't mean you have to draw everything that they do. I don't know where I got the hips from, or what artist or whatever, but I do like hips on real women too. I kind of just laid this in without talking about it. The legs, because I do such pretty big hips or whatever, I still have to control the thickness of her thighs. Usually I'll come in about here. When someone has their hip out, kind of, there's like there's like a point where like there's like a bone that pushes out and meat around it, where there's like a divot, and then right behind it is kind of like where the butt meat's gonna start. And I just kind of put that in there lightly sometimes, just because I need to break up where her hip's ending and her butt's beginning. It's looking pretty good. This is my first drawing of today, so I'll probably be erasing a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have done this tutorial with the first drawing of the day, but whatever. I'm a lazy artist, like I said. So I'm going to bring in her hips just a little bit more. And I think that her belly button is a little bit too low, but not too much. Right here, I just put in like a subtle line of where her, I don't know, like her pelvis muscles or whatever, right in here. I don't know the terms. When you go to art school and stuff, and people are bothering you about like instructors and crap or whatever, that you need to learn all the names of the muscles and all that crap. You don't need to learn that shit. It's like, are you serious? Like, learning the names of anything is not going to help you draw. Learning shapes is going to help you draw. Learning muscles is going to help you draw. You don't need to know the names of them. That's retarded. That's for doctors and shit like that to figure out. So I'm pretty done here. One of my things is, especially with just a sketch of Zombie Tramp, because of my hips and all that, if you can see now, there's no room for her arm, so I always just kind of put it right behind her hips. If you put it in front, it's gonna look like she's lurching forward, kind of like, I don't know. I think this is turning out okay. I'm always tweaking shit. Sometimes I can't let a drawing go. Like, I just finished this commission for that, I forget his name already. He wanted that Aztec chick, and it was just supposed to be a line drawing, and I got carried away, and I inked it and shaded it and put it in Photoshop and put all this grayscale crap in it. Arms. My arms haven't really changed too much since high school. They've gotten a little bit less buffer, but more simple. But it's a combination of maybe Bruce Timm Batman animated series and Jim Lee together. I used to be a big fan of Jim Lee, drawing how he drew women and how he drew muscles, and it's been simplified, as the years gone on. I've made it simpler and simpler and simpler so I could draw faster. Once again, lazy drawer, lazy artist. So, if you look at Jim Lee stuff, he does the same thing. He pops it out, and also with the Batman animated series and all that stuff, they'll do a straight line from armpit all the way down, like straight line all the way down to the wrist. And then they'll come in here, and then they do this strange little pop out for the forearm, come straight back in with the wrist. It's cool. It's easy. So thanks, Bruce Timm. So this is looking pretty cool. Undo the hand. You're not going to see much of this hand, so I'm not going to really talk about it since it's hidden behind a little. But it's really important to learn fingers and toes and all that. I've had teachers tell me your homework is to go draw 50 hands and 50 feet, and you have to have it done by tomorrow. Alright, so it's good to know those things. If you look at a lot of comic book artists out there, they cannot draw good hands and good feet. They half-ass it, and My fingers and toes aren't the best, but I take pride that I can actually draw them. My When I was around in 1994 or something like that, before San Diego Comic Con got really big, you can actually walk over there the day it started and wait in line and get a ticket and all that. And I went and I waited in line and had a portfolio and wanted companies to look at my stuff. And at the time, I liked, I drew straight anime at that time when I strayed away from American style. And I had this whole portfolio of anime stuff, and I was really into Antarctic Press because Antarctic Press was an American company that drew anime, drew manga or manga, whatever you want to call it. I just say anime. So I waited in line for like an hour to see them. I go and see them, and the guy that draws Gold Digger, I forget his name. He was there. He was cool as fuck. And then the editor in chief or some guy like that was there. And they're looking at my stuff, and as soon as they open the pages, the guy that does Gold Digger, he's like, that is awesome. I like it. It's really cool. And then the editor in chief, he goes, no, I don't like your fingers. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's, I don't like them. They look all rubbery. I was like, all right. So didn't work for Antarctic Press because they didn't like my rubbery looking fingers. So I ended up learning to draw better fingers. But if you've seen a lot of the artists that Antarctic Press hires these days, it's not the best. So whatever. Back here is just her hair. Her hair goes down to the middle of her back. There's no rule to it. I just put maybe a couple little divots or whatever. I don't draw hoo-ha's or whatever. I don't do that. So that's what you're gonna get. She's a nude. I'm not gonna go there and draw all that shit. Nipples are not perfectly round. They may seem like it at times, but I don't really do that. I just kind of making a couple hexes, and then just a hint. I find that if you over do the nipples, like you're like making them all like a thick ass line and all that stuff, it's just gonna look overdone. Nipples are soft and subtle, and I love Eric Larson, but his nipples are ridiculous. Like he'll draw like girls wearing like t-shirts with full on rendered nipples and all that stuff, and you're like, come on dude, are you serious? Like that looks ridiculous, and that looks ridiculous. But whatever, he's Eric Larson. I wish I was Eric Larson sometimes. He just said, hey, I'm gonna draw this Savage Dragon, and everybody laughed at him. But what is he doing now? Drawing Savage Dragon for I don't know how many years. Drawing Savage Dragon, ridiculous. Savage Dragon's cool. The stories are just simple and Savage Dragon-ish, just no thought process, not complicated, like full on, like I'm a novelist stories. It's just fun. That's what I like to do with Zombie Tramp. Zombie Tramp is just a fun story. She's a ex-prostitute, and she had a horrible life. Her life did not get any better. No matter how much she lied to herself, her life, was shitty. She's been used her whole life and abused. She didn't realize any of this until she woke up and she was dead. But now that she's dead, she's starting over and trying to make a better life for herself. So here we go. We're done. Now, the thing with Zombie Tramp, she has a couple distinctive things right now. In the new book, she has a white streak through her hair. I'm not going to draw it here. It's not going to be something that's going to be around for a while. It's only going to be for maybe a book. At the end of the other book, if you didn't buy it, then that's your problem. But she gets her head blown off, like right here. It's a huge hole in her head, and Zula, she ate Zula's soul, and so Zula's soul took over her body and helped her exact her revenge with the hole in her head and all that. And one day Zombie Tramp just wakes up and she's buried again. And she had this huge blonde streak in her hair. And that's, I don't explain it or nothing. It's just her head's whole again. But right now, that's what I'm doing. I've been doing this little, looks like a check mark, but it's just like a zigzag scar, kind of where her head got blown off. Zombie Tramp can fuse body parts on herself if she loses body parts. So that's what's up with the blonde hair. We don't know how it happened, but there was she blacked out, but she woke up buried, got out of her grave, and she had a huge blonde streak, and her head was whole again. So, just guessing that she just took a piece of some chick's blonde head and stuck it on hers, Why not? I don't have to show everything. You don't show superheroes taking craps on the toilet or anything, so. Just shading it in the hair, big time anime fan. I put that little shimmer crap right there. In high school, back to high school, when I drew like American style, and everything was about Jim Lee, Will Spertaccio, all that stuff before Image Comics was, just right when Image Comics was going to hit. There were huge influences, and then when I graduated high school, I was so much into anime, I just stopped doing that stuff, and I just started drawing anime style, straight anime style, and then after that, I kind of started going back to American, and it started mixing together, and that's how my style developed. There's a artist named Yukito Kishiro, created Battle Angel. He's a big influence, not for his girls or anything like that, for his how he does his panels and how he does motion and all that stuff. If you want to look into him, he is awesome when it comes to action sequences and cool things like that. Let's see. Zombie Tramp has, no matter what she does, as in the new book that I'm doing, the scars that she got when she first died are never gonna leave, no matter what she does. She can replace this whole fucking arm, and no matter what, her initial bite mark that turned her into a zombie will always be there. So she's fucked on that. If she wants to have smooth skin, it's not gonna happen. Zombie Tramp is really vain. Even though she's dead, she cares about how she looks. So that probably bothers her a lot. Then maybe she shouldn't be so scantily clad. Maybe she should wear like t-shirts and shit so she can cover it up. But whatever. Zombie Tramp is Zombie Tramp. Here's how I fill in lips. I keep it kind of dark in the corners. Fade it up a little bit on the top lip. Then when I hit the bottom, I kind of fade it out and then start making little curves like this. And then, I just leave a little slight whiteness right there, so you got a little bit of shine. And then people say, I'm gonna make these like little lines right here. People say, why do you make those lines? I don't know. They do it in manga books, so I do it too. I guess it's to create a plane of depth, like a plane of like that her face pops up this way and then starts going down instead of straight down. I guess that's what that is creating that. So there you have it. That is Zombie Tramp. She always has a gash somewhere on her chest, and then if people can see her panties low enough, she actually always has one in her pelvis area too. And then her legs are just whatever, never huge gashes. And that is it. So there you have it, Trade Man. The drawing is done. I will now sign it for you. I will mail it to you. You are hooked up. I hope you enjoyed your video. I'm probably going to also post it on YouTube. But I will email you a higher res of it so you could see how it turns out better than a YouTube video. So that's it. See you later.